Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to give it about 1 more minute because I think there's some other people popping on. Perfect. So if we haven't met before, my name is Annie. I'm an instructor from Modo Yoga Hamilton, teaching with momentum during lockdown. This morning, a little bit different than what I've been doing for the last few weeks. I'm going to ask you if you have like a couch cushion close by, or even just like your pillow that you sleep with, you'll want to have that beside your mat. I'm going to be instructing, so I'm using a bolster today, just kind of like a really big firm pillow. So I'll give you a second if you want to go grab. Even 2 pillows might be best. We're going to do a little bit of a yin class this morning to start the day. And then I will meet you on your mats. So we are going to start, as always, on our backs. Oh, there's just one more person popping in here. Hi there. So for those of you that just came on, I was just saying we're going to be doing a bit of a yin class today. So you'll want to make sure that you have a pillow or a cushion, maybe 2 cushions. I'll be instructing with a bolster. So you just want to have something similar close to your mat. But as always, we will start on our backs. So just laying flat on your back, arms and legs wide. Just gonna move my computer a bit. And then just take the next few moments to just settle into your mat. Take a few deep breaths. So just try to breathe in and out through your nose. And feeling your belly rise and fall as you breathe, feeling your chest expand. Try to let your shoulders soften away from your ears. Let go of any tension in your body, anything that you are holding on to. Just gonna crack my door open. When I have my door closed, my cat goes crazy, wants to come in. All right, so keeping that breath going, you're just gonna really slowly start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, circle your wrists and your ankles. So just find some gentle movement to wake yourself up. And then slide your heels together at the back of the mat. Reach your arms overhead. Take an inhale. Find a full body stretch here. Point your toes. Get really, really long. And exhale. Just let your muscles relax. Okay, do one more like that. Deep breath in to reach. And exhale to soften. All right, bring the feet onto the floor. Draw your knees in toward your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins and give yourself a squeeze. And so pressing down through your lower back and just a little rocking motion here, side to side. Wake up the low back, the blood flowing. Maybe bring your hands onto your knees and trace nice big circles around your lower back. Good, and we'll step the feet onto the floor. You can bring either arm overhead, roll onto that side. And then from there, just start to press yourself up. We're gonna come into a tabletop to start. Just waking up the spine with a few cat-cows before we get into our mini yin class this morning. So fingers are spread wide here, wrists beneath shoulders, knees under hips. On the inhale, let your belly drop. Start to bring your chin up, roll your shoulders back, lift the gaze. And exhale, press into the hands as you round your spine. Press up between the shoulder blades and drop the head. Good, inhale, coming to cow pose. Lifting up, scooping into the low back. Exhale, rounding it out. Good, do 3 more, just like that. Good. So at the end of the third breath, just come back to a neutral spine, and you're just going to come right down onto your stomach. So right down onto your stomach, come up onto your forearms. So your elbows are stacked right beneath your shoulders. Your forearms are making the number 11. Your palms are pressing down into the floor. So you want your feet to be about hip distance apart, maybe slightly wider. And then notice how the shoelace parts of your feet are connected to the mat. So this is called a Sphinx pose. We are here to get into our lower backs. So you do want to come to the point in this pose where you feel some really slight compression in your lower back. Nothing that is like pinching or sharp or painful, just that little bit of tension. So what you're gonna do, excuse me, is gonna press into the hands and then just start to gently lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, just to the point where you feel that compression. And then notice, did you start to engage your glutes and your hamstrings? If you did that, try to soften them completely. So let those muscles go, your bum, your hamstrings, no work there. So you're really just pressing into the forearms and the hands, rolling the shoulders back, and make sure you're breathing here. Now, if you find that this is really intense for you, it shouldn't feel too intense, but if for any reason it does, you can take your pillow and you will just sort of slide it underneath your stomach. So you're just giving the front of your body something to rest on. You can keep your forearms onto the floor. Maybe you prop them up onto your pillow. So the main thing in a yin class is the amount of time that we hold the poses for. So it's quite a bit longer than in a regular yoga class, usually between anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes, depending on the class. We won't be holding anything for 5 minutes today, so don't worry. And then you really want to allow your body to settle into stillness. So try to be as still as you can here, and that is where your breath really comes into play. You have to use that breath as a tool, just following your inhales and following your exhales. Now this pose is really, really beneficial for the flexibility of our lower backs. So it's definitely a good one to incorporate into sort of your daily stretching or mobility work. And if your neck is starting to get stiff, you can always drop your head down. So we'll be here for about another minute or so. Again, good place to close your eyes and just take those nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. And about 5 more cycles here. So at the end of your 5th breath, one of the most important things about this pose is we always have to do a counter pose afterwards, just to sort of let our spine recalibrate. So you can watch me if you like. You're going to come down slowly, bring your left arm alongside and your left ear to the mat. Now right arm and right leg come to about 90 degrees. So for all of you that sleep on your stomach, sort of probably that same position, you have your knee tucked up, feels good on the low back. So this is just a little release of our low back. So if you ever do Sphinx at home, you always want to make sure that you do this afterward. And then just start to make your way back through center. So we're going to do a second set of that same pose. You can do Sphinx again if you like. If you felt like you need to go a little bit further, you maybe want more of a stretch, you're going to plant your hands to the outer edges of your mat, spread the fingers wide, and then just simply press up to straight arms. And this one is going to feel a little more intense than Sphinx. So if you like, you can bring that pillow that you grabbed and sort of wedge it underneath your stomach. Again, once you come up, glutes and hamstrings are totally soft. So let them go. And if this feels like it's too intense, come back down to forearms. We won't be holding this one for as long as the first. Just about 10 breaths here. About halfway there. So at the end of your last breath, and remove any props that you were using. Slowly come down, this time right arm alongside, right ear to the mat, and then left arm, left leg bend at about 90 degrees. So that same counter pose, just on the opposite side. And let's come back through center. So you're just going to stack your hands, bend both of your knees, and just sway your shins side to side. So again, another nice release for the lower back here. Just do that a few more times. And come back through center, lower the feet, plant your hands beneath your shoulders, press yourself up tabletop, and then we are going to come right into a seated position. So we just spent quite a bit of time extending our spine, so we are going to do some poses that are going to flex our spine, so putting them in, or putting the spine in the opposite direction. So we are going to start legs extended, and you may want your pillows close by. So just a really simple passive fold. I'm actually just going to turn to the side so you can see a bit better. So you might want to have just sort of a slight bend in your knees, nothing crazy, but your legs are pretty relaxed here. Tall spine to start. You're just going to start by bringing your chin down to your chest, and then allow your upper body to start to round forward. Now, you don't want to push yourself forward with a flat back. You want your spine to be rounded here. So think about the opposite shape that we were just in. Let your head hang really, really heavy, so there's no effort happening in your shoulders or your neck. And you should feel this nice stretch all the way down your back body here. You're welcome in yin, especially, to use as many props as you need. So if you want to take your pillow or your cushion onto your lap, and you can sort of lean forward onto it. And again, you really want to try to settle into that stillness here. Try to avoid fidgeting or adjusting. Just find that first place where you feel that first bit of tension in your back. Again, nothing sharp or painful at all. And just stay there and breathe. It can be really helpful to sort of picture the breath happening in your back body. So on your inhale, you really want to feel the space right between your shoulder blades expanding. On your exhale, feel your upper body become a little bit heavier. Maybe you fall forward a little bit further. Right, about 5 more cycles of breath here. So at the end of your 5th breath, take your time, really, really slowly, just start to roll yourself up. Another counter pose after this. So you're going to bring your hands behind you as you lean back. Plant your feet wider than your hips. And then just gently sway your knees side to side. All right, so our next fold, sort of the same idea, but this one is to target a little more into your hips and your outer thighs. So feet are going to come together, knees fall apart. So you have that nice big diamond shape with your legs, and you don't want your feet really close in toward your pelvis. You want a good amount of space between the heels and the body. If you are starting to feel any pressure in your hips, good idea to sort of wedge your pillows underneath, just giving your legs a little more support. So same idea, tall spine to start, chin comes down to chest, and then just slowly and mindfully let yourself fall forward. Yeah, not forcing yourself into a forward fold. You want your spine to be really rounded here. And head is super heavy, so just let that go completely. And again, if you need something underneath your head, your chest, to prop up your body, grab your pillow. And just feeling the back body expand on your inhales. Yeah, really long, slow exhale. Feel the upper body become heavier. I'm just noticing any distractions that are coming up. Any thoughts, anything that is trying to pull you away from what you're doing right now. Just come back to focusing on your breath. We'll be here for about 5 more cycles. So the end of your 5th breath, again, no rush to get there. Just really take your time. Slowly walk yourself up. Head is last to lift. Hands behind you. Lean back. Plant the feet. Find that same sway of your knees, side to side. So we have one more forward fold to do this morning. So this one, you're going to bring your legs out. Now, just depending on your flexibility, you don't have to have them super wide. You don't want to feel any sharpness in your inner thighs. Just to the point that's comfortable for you, your range of motion. So again, sitting up tall, you'll probably want to have your pillow for this one just in front of you. You can turn it, stack them, whatever. Sit up tall, chin to chest, and then just allowing yourself to come forward. And then you can prop yourself up onto whatever you're using as a prop. Ideally, we are feeling this just in our inner thighs. And I know for some, if you have any knee sensitivities, you're feeling this in your knees, just bring your feet in a bit closer. You can also, I don't think I have anything with me, but if you have a towel or a blanket, you would roll it up, maybe fold it in half, roll it up, and then you would wedge them under your knees. So you're just giving your legs something to rest onto. So that's why I just love yin so much. I don't often get to teach it, but it's just so accessible for everybody, no matter your limitations, injuries, your body. It works for everybody, and it feels really good too. So again, try to settle into that stillness. Just focusing on the sound of your breath. Notice the areas of the body where you're feeling this. And even try to direct your breath right into those spots. So when you're exhaling, you're sending that breath right into the areas of tension. Visualize that tension sort of melting away. We're not in this one for as long since we've already been in a couple folds already. So you're going to be here for about 5 more breaths. End of the 5th, one final time. Slowly rising. Really take your time for this one. Again, lean back so you can plant your feet. Just take your time. And then swaying knees side to side. All right. So we will make our way down onto our backs, and you're going to bring your pillow, slide it underneath your knees, and then you're just going to come into your regular Shavasana. So heels come to the outer edges of your mat. I find sometimes that having something underneath your knees when you're laying flat on your back, it just makes it a little more comfortable. You feel a little more supported, especially through the lower back. You can bring your arms out to the sides. Go ahead and tuck your shoulders under. Little tuck in your chin so your neck is long. Good place to close your eyes if that feels okay. And still just focusing on that rhythm of breath here. Notice any sensations in your body. And any urge that you're getting to move around or to fiddle or adjust something, just try to let that pass. I know for myself that these few moments at the end of my yoga class where I just get to be still are so, so important for sort of the way I go about my day, the mindset that I have heading into my day. I think it's not very often that we take that time for ourselves to be just completely still and giving ourselves that space to rest, even if it's just for 3 or 4 minutes. Being mindful about the way that you breathe, and really noticing how your body is feeling. A really good way to just get in tune with yourself before you start the day or have to head to work or whatever you're doing today. Just noticing any sounds around you. Just try to let them be part of your practice. Any smells happening around you, if the coffee's on or breakfast is being cooked, again, just let it be part of your environment, part of your practice. Don't let it pull you away from what you're doing. And take 5 more cycles of breath here, slow and steady. Just preparing the body to start to move after that 5th breath. And then when you find the bottom of your 5th breath, you can maybe just slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes again, move the head around. And to get up off of your mat, especially after a yin class, just bring your feet, plant them onto the mat, roll onto one side, and then press yourself up from there. Hopefully you didn't watch the way I got up from my mat because it wasn't the most safe way. So just take your time. This is where I will leave you all today. I'll be back tomorrow for more of an active class. So thank you for coming. It's nice to see you all. And I hope you have a wonderful start to your Tuesday.
Thank you so much,
Annie.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming.
I had to take the dog licking my hand into my practice today.
Oh, nice. Love that.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.